Welcome to Demo Day, where young innovators take the stage and showcase real-world projects to a global audience. At WEquil School, students learn to become innovators, teaching each other each week through their creations. WEquil App has thousands of novel and useful projects born out of our students' strengths, interests, and passions. But Demo Day is more than just a presentation. It's a celebration of innovation, collaboration, and the power of young minds. Join us on this incredible journey of inspiration as we witness the next generation of problem solvers and leaders. From Harvard professors to industry experts, our Demo Days attract incredible guest speakers who share their knowledge and ignite curiosity. Whether you're a young innovator looking to showcase your creations or a family seeking an extraordinary learning experience, Demo Day is here for you. Together, let's create a world where young minds flourish, ideas come to life, and innovation knows no boundaries. Join us for an unforgettable journey of learning, growth, and discovery. Welcome to Demo Day. So starting a business is an incredible opportunity for young people to learn how to create real value and monetize it. And so in the age of software, there are a ton of different ways you can go about doing this. So since we have a bunch of examples just from our own experience of starting many businesses, then we want to kind of like provide those examples and steps for those who are interested but may not know what to do. So the first is to obviously find a business idea. And the best business ideas solve a problem in the world that overlaps with something you have a passion or expertise with in. And so that can manifest in a lot of different ideas and can either be products or services. And so these are just some examples from my family's experience in entrepreneurship. So first is Code Academy. When I was 8, I started a business called Code Academy where I taught kids to code in either Scratch or Python. And the problem specifically, it was that a lot of programming courses weren't tailored specifically towards kids. And since I was a kid, I knew what it was like not to know these programming languages. And so I could teach it in a much more intuitive way. Also, if kids were attending my classes and they saw a kid teaching, then it was kind of like, well, if this kid can do it, then I can too. Next is Positive Pooch Sitting, which my sister Isla created as a dog sitting business for people living in our apartment building. And the problem was that she wanted to get a dog, but didn't know how to take care of one in an apartment building. And so she wanted to gain experience through sitting other people's dogs. And lastly is WEquil Wands, which is another business that my sister created, where the issue was that she went on Amazon, she wanted a wand, she loved Harry Potter, but all of them were pretty expensive. And so the next step after you have a business idea is to identify your customer who is going to want to buy whatever your product or service is. And so it's important to know who your customers are so you can effectively communicate your value proposition and decide the best form of communication. You can think about a few different demographics such as age, where they live, interests, wants, and so on. The next step is to actually create your product or service. So basically, if your business is a service, then there isn't a lot of like work to be done upfront other than actually providing the service. So you should figure out what is necessary to do, such as creating a curriculum if you're teaching a class, creating a website, or any other necessary things. Then also, other than that, you want to think about what type of payment method you're going to use so that you can actually get paid for what you're doing. Same thing with a product. However, there are also other complications such as how you are going to deal with distribution, if you're only selling to people nearby, or if not, what type of shipping are you going to use, and all of those considerations. Next is the pricing. So I'll use the same three examples, but this can be this is very much dependent on what your actual business is and many factors such as how much time it takes, what other similar businesses charge, what is the quality, cost of material, and stuff like that. So you don't have to feel pressured to set a definitive price because you can always change it later and react to demand. So for example, with Code Academy, I charge $10 an hour because I was 8, and generally a programming class would be pretty expensive, but since I wasn't an expert, and I found it very valuable to me because teaching kids was also helping me with my own programming and reinforcing my own knowledge, then I didn't necessarily see money as the only thing I was getting out of it. For positive pooch sitting, Isla knew that she was providing a high quality service for each pet that she took care of. And since pet owners care a lot about their pets, then a low price might indicate to them that you have a lower quality of your service, which would not be accurate in her case. And so in that instance, she took the average price on the market, which was around $40 per night. And lastly is WEquil Wands, which is where she priced every wand at $10 because she wanted a competitive price, but which is not a problem because the cost of material was around $1. But then she started getting more orders. She was a bit busy. She wanted to do other things, so she bumped up the price to $30. Another thing to consider is the when selling your product is the time it takes and the cost of materials. So if you're selling lemonade for 50 cents a cup, but it costs you 60 cents to buy, then you are actually losing money. And so you want to think about what your profit margin is. And this is calculated by taking the revenue, the money that you make, minus the cost, which is the cost to buy materials. There's also the time you spent making and selling your product. So if you have a profit of $20 after spending 4 hours of selling lemonade, you might have made money, but that's valuing your time at $5 an hour. So you also want to account for the time that you spend. This is also when you are providing a service, you want to account for all the time you spend marketing, setting up a website, meeting new customers, and all of that. And so you want to set a dollar value for your time and then kind of back out, well, how much do I want to charge based off of that. Lastly is Code Academy, and is marketing. And with Code Academy, since I was doing in-person classes, it made sense to just use our pre-existing network. And so I mostly just ended up teaching Isla's friends. For positive pooch sitting, it's also focused on those in our apartment building. So she printed out cards with her information and went up to those that were walking dogs around our apartment. And lastly, for WEquil Wands, Isla was selling to any Harry Potter fan, so she made a video on YouTube that showed her making WEquil Wands as well as information on how people could order them. And so starting a business is an amazing opportunity for young people to get experience in the real world, how actually creating value for others. And so with that, I'm going to pass it on to Chloe